How's it going? My name is Oliver. In the past 2 years, I've been basically taking sales calls every single day. I've been pretty good at it. I've been able to close deals upwards of $5,000, even a lot more than that. But on average, the average cash collect is about $5,000 that we do every single day. If you're expecting me to give you a magical script where there's a bunch of words and you think you're going to be able to read off a piece of paper and being able to replicate these types of numbers, then I'm sorry, you might as well click off this video and not even watch it. All right, closing is very complex. There's a reason why I don't have a script on the screen right now, but if you stay throughout the entire video, I will teach you exactly what I've been teaching my students, but also my own closers on my team. I have 4 closers. They all started with no experience when it came to closing, and today they're able to replicate my type of results and able to collect $5,000 in a single sales call. Okay, so if you want to replicate these types of results, I will show you today how I do it and how my team does it as well. Now, again, there's a reason why I don't have a script. I don't use scripts. I don't believe in scripts when it comes to closing. I believe more so in structures and following a sort of framework when it comes to closing. So what is this framework? Before I get into in the depth of the video, it's very important to understand that there's 2 styles of closing. There's probably more, but from what I've seen, there's 2. There is logic-based and one that's more emotional-based closing. All right, so logic-based is, like the name says it, it's very logical. So, hey, how much money do you have? What are you trying to achieve? Like, how many deals do you need with your business? How many clients do you need to sign in order to reach your ultimate goal? An example would be, all right, what is your financial goal with your business? The person says, I want to make $100,000 per month. All right, what is one client worth to you? And then you break it down. One client is worth 10K. Perfect. So you need a total of 10 clients. So each client, I can get you a client for this much money. Boom, boom, boom. And I kind of break down the numbers and be super logical about it. Okay, do the numbers make sense? So this is logic based. This, if you have a STEM background, okay, so you did engineering, computer science, maths, physics, something like that, you're more likely going to be logic based closing. Now, emotional closing, like the name says it, it's using your emotions. And an example of this would be, how would making $5,000 per month change your life right now? What would you be able to do with that extra amount of money? Okay, that's an emotional type of closing or emotional type questioning, I could say. Now, it's not necessarily one or the other. You can mix both when you're closing, but what I found from experience is that you're most likely going to lean into one or the other. I have 4 closers, as mentioned. 3 of them are this way, and 1 of them is this way, and they're both doing equally as well. Okay, so there's not one that's better than the other. My personal preference, I have an engineering background, so I'm very much logic-based. This is how I've been closing. All right, so this is what I'm going to teach you boys what to do today. Now, when it comes to the sales call, it's very simple. There's the intro, which is the first part, the presentation, and then handling objection, and then closing. Okay, so 4 total parts. Here, intro, in a logic-based questioning, you just want to sort of understand and get to know the person's business. I don't really go for building rapport. Like, yes, I ask them like, how's it going? Like, where are you calling from and stuff like that. But I don't push it. I don't go that deep into their personal life because they know you don't care. I actually don't even care. Like, truthfully, like I'm just here for a business transaction. I'm trying to see, can we help each other? Can I help you achieve your goals? And can you help me by being a client in my company? Okay, so I just try to logically break down, like, what have you tried before in the past? So if you're in the agency, like a marketing agency, good line of questioning would be, all right, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve with the business? Like, what is the ultimate thing that would make your life, like, what's the ultimate dream goal of this business that you're running? So they might give you a revenue number. They might say, I want to outsource myself, remove myself from the business. There's a bunch of things they can say. Okay, so that's the first question I would ask. What is the goal? Okay. Next question is, what have you done to reach that goal? What have you tried in the past? So what have you tried in the past to reach this ultimate goal of yours? And you don't stop until they list everything. So yeah, I tried to run Google ads in the past. It didn't work. Okay, cool. What else have you tried in the past? Yeah, I did Facebook ads as well. Okay, cool. Have you worked with other agencies in the past? Yeah, I tried that before in the past. It didn't work. Cool. Have you done anything in person? Yeah, I tried to do door knocking. Like, I hired a team and that didn't work. Break down every single thing. The more you have, the more ammunition you have for afterwards in the call. Once you have these things, and you've exhausted like every single thing they've tested and tried to reach this ultimate goal of theirs, then you ask them why. Why did it not work? Why did this other marketing agency not help them? Why did Google ads didn't work? Why did Facebook ads not work for them? And then what I like to ask is almost like solve their problems, but not really. So let's say they tell me, yeah, I tried to scale let's say I'm working with a local business, like a blue collar, a plumber. Okay, so I ask them like, so what have you tried in the past to scale your plumbing business to 100 grand per month? They'll tell me like, yeah, I tried to run Facebook ads in the past, but that didn't really work. I was like, okay, cool. How come it didn't work? Like, what do you mean by didn't work? It's like, yeah, I wasn't getting any results from it. Here, this is where I would like almost give them a solution, not make them feel dumb, but almost trying to help them understand like, well, why didn't you do this? Like, why didn't you try that? Or this is why it didn't work. So in this case, if I use the Facebook example, it'd be like, okay, cool. So were you the one to run the ads? Like, did you manage them yourself? He's like, yeah, I did everything. I'm like, okay, cool. And just out of curiosity, like, was that your first time running ads? Have you ran ads before in the past for your business? No, I never ran ads before. This was my first time. I was like, okay, cool. So you didn't have that much experience when it came to Facebook ads, so you're just sort of testing out a bunch of things, trying to see what worked best for your business. Is that right? He's like, yeah. It's like, okay, cool. That's perfectly understandable. Many people start that way. They try to do it themselves. And then when they realize that it's just easier to outsource the work and get someone who's already done it before in the past, it just logically sometimes that is a better option. So we'll definitely go over that later in the call. Okay, as simple as that. And I would basically do that for almost every possibility if it makes sense. Like if they say door knocking, like I don't really care why door knocking didn't work because I'm not going to do it. But if they said Facebook ads and Google ads, I will definitely touch on both points. So I'll ask them again, why didn't Facebook ads work and why didn't Google ads work? And I'm going to go in depth on both things. That's my first part. Sort of just understanding, discovery, what the hell is happening in his business, what didn't work, what is the objective, and all of those things. Second part, here is presentation. So my presentations, I will basically use a lucid chart. So exactly like this, what you guys are seeing. I will have it prepared, so I'll have ready the squares and everything, and I'm going to present them the transformation. So point A, you are here, and then you want to get to point B. What needs to be done for you to get to this point? And I will break down every single step of what I will be doing with the person to get them to that end goal. So step 1, we're going to look at your current marketing. Step 2, we're going to revamp everything. So we're going to do your copywriting. We're going to record the ads for you. We have graphic designers. We're going to take care of all of that. From here, we launch the ads. From here, we're going to monitor the ads. From there, leads are going to be coming in. So someone has to call those leads. And then right away he's going to say, well, I don't want to call the leads. They're like, don't worry, I have someone on my team who's going to call the leads for you. And I basically break down each step of how we're going to get them to point B. Logically, again. So yeah, bro, the way it's going to work is very simple. First off, I'm going to get access to your Facebook campaign. I'll take a look at the ads that you currently ran, see if we can learn anything from it. From there, very simply, I'm going to go contact another business who's also in the plumbing niche, who's doing extremely well. Don't worry, they're in a whole different state. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use their ads as a reference point to create your ads, because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Their ads work extremely well, and I'm just going to take what they did and I'm going to apply it to your business. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to re-record your ads, make picture ads, redo the script, do the copywriting, whatever you're offering as a service. And then from there, and then you break down step by step what the process will look like. So this is not rocket science. This is really just breaking down your solution, your offer, but in baby steps. Okay? Almost like you're holding their hand and you're breaking down what the journey, what the experience is going to look like, and how you're going to get them to your end goal of 100K or whatever they want to make. Okay? Makes sense. Now, from here, they're going to have a bunch of questions. They might ask you some stuff. You clarify everything. You make sure that this is well understood and they understand what the product is going to look like. And very important, okay, this is a big mistake that I see many people doing. You have to tie back your solution. So whatever like offer that you're doing, you have to connect it to this right here, their pain points. So if they told you, yeah, I tried to run Facebook ads in the past, but I had no idea how to record ads. Like my audio was always bad. I don't know how to script it. They didn't look nice. They weren't fancy editing. Like I don't know how to do that. And I don't have anyone to do it on my team. What do you think I'm going to focus on in this presentation? If he specifically mentioned that, obviously it's going to be the video ads. So I will remind them. I was like, you remember when you told me at the beginning, you believe the reason why your Facebook ads didn't work because of the videos, like the quality of the way they were filmed and scripted and recorded? He's going to say, yes, I agree with you on that point. Okay, that does play a huge factor in the ads performance. So that is why I have my own in-house team of editing. I will give you the script, I'll write everything for you, and then I will tell you exactly how to do it. Now, a bonus point. You pre-handle objections. So in your head, let's say I say that to the person. What's something that comes up to your head that maybe the person's going to be opposed to recording the ads? Maybe in their heads, they're going to be like, I'm too shy. Like, I really don't want to record myself. I don't like talking in front of the camera. I don't want to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-handle the objection in case it's an objection. It's not always going to be one, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And at least the person knows that they have options. So what I would do in this example again is I would say, you remember how you told me you think it's the video ads that aren't working? He'll say yes. I'm like, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the entire script for you, explain to you how to record a video, and also edit the entire thing for it to look fancy, like you've been seeing, like you've been mentioning on your Facebook, how you've been seeing the other people with fancy editing. I will replicate that for your business. Now, I know you're busy. I know you have lots of things to do. And if you tell me, Oliver, I don't want to be in front of the camera, I don't want to record the ads, don't worry, I get it. That's perfectly fine. We also have, just in case, a team of actors. Okay. And these are people that can record the ads on your behalf. Okay. They're going to be framed as representatives in your company, and they're going to just speak on your behalf, and they're going to explain what you guys do, and they'll be the face of the company on the ads. Does that make sense, sir? You'll say yes. So you see how I present the solution, I tie it back to his previous problem, which is I believe it's the videos in itself that cause the ads not to perform well. And then I pre-handle the possible objection, which is maybe he's just shy to speak in front of the camera and maybe he doesn't want to do it. And I presented him a solution by saying like, hey, I have a team of actors that can take care of it if you don't want to do it, which is perfectly fine. I get it. So I reassure him that you're not being a pussy by not wanting to do it. Like, I got you, don't worry. And I do that for every single point. So whatever he mentioned, you tie it back to your offer and you pre-handle the objection. That is extremely important. The more you do this, the easier this part is going to be, which is handling objections and the closing. Because you're pre-handling objections. There shouldn't be any objections at the end. Okay? Cool. So once you finish the presentation, you do all of those things. The person will probably still have questions. It's normal. You answer all of their questions. Okay? You do your best and you answer every question the same way I just explained to you. The same exact way. It's like, yeah, but so you told me there's going to be leads coming in and we have to call them. Is that right? He's like, I don't know if I can call them. I don't have people for that. You say, don't worry. That is why we have our own in-house team of VAs. Okay, they'll call the leads for you. We'll book them into your calendar. You literally, all you have to do is you open your calendar and you just show up to the calls or to your meetings and then you complete the jobs. Does that make sense? It's like, I'll take care of the entire thing. Like, you don't have to worry about calling the leads. Okay, so again, always tie it back to your solution. From there, the closing. That's the fun part. At the end, the way I do my closings is I will wait. Like, I won't even bring up money until they bring it up. So I'll sit here until they ask me, what is the price? So I'll say like, any questions? He's like, no, that makes sense. I was like, okay, cool. And then eventually they're going to bring up the question. So like, yeah, the only question I have left is how much does it cost to work with you? So the way you present the price, very simple. Be upfront, straight to the point. So I'm like, yeah, so for everything that I presented to you, this is going to be a monthly package. So every month we're going to be working together and our monthly package costs $5,000 per month or whatever price you have. And then you just wait. Okay. You guys have watched the Wolf of Wall Street movie. where Jordan Belfort, he says, once you reveal the price, you just wait, and the person, like you, whoever speaks first loses, basically. And it's the same thing here. You give them their price, so you say, sir, for everything that I presented you today, the price is only $5,000 per month. And of course, we have a guarantee. So if ever you're not happy, or if ever we don't reach the KPI, so the numbers that we spoke about today on this call, I will refund you the entire thing, no questions asked. And of course, we have a contract to back that up. And then you shut up. You don't say anything. You just wait until the person says something. Because he might say, yeah, that sounds good, let's do it. And if that happens, that's perfect. Now, what's most likely going to happen is going to be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I have to think about it. Like, I'm not too sure. It's expensive. It's a lot more than I thought it would be. Can you give me a day or two, or can we book a follow-up call? Okay, they'll give you some random objection. Whatever they tell you, if you have a good product, which you should, okay, if you don't have a good product, you shouldn't be selling it in the first place. So you know already the product is not the problem. That's how you should frame it in your head. Your product is so good, I know you want what I have, but money is the only thing holding you back. I'm telling you, for 99% of the objections, or 99% of people, that is the reason why they're not buying, is money. It's not because they don't like your product. You should have a perfect product. So if that happens, if they give you any objection, that's I always do it. This is the key point. Any objection, you say, okay, look, between me and you, okay, let's say we put price aside. I know I just revealed the price and everything. Do you like what we offer? Do you like the actual service? Like, is there anything about it that you don't like, that you would want differently, or whatever? Again, 9 times out of 10, yes, I love what you do. That's honestly exactly what I've been looking for. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So money is the only thing that's holding you back. Is that right? He'll say yes. I was like, okay. So if we find a solution for the money, you would be willing to work together. Yes. So you get yeses. You get a bunch of yes, and you also get the verbal confirmation of, if I find a solution for you, like money-wise, you're willing to work with me. Like, you're willing to say yes. And he's saying yes to that. So afterwards, he cannot backtrack, and you can use it against him afterwards. So I tell him, I'm like, okay, so look, I'm willing to be flexible. I've been talking to you for about an hour now. You seem like a very adequate person. I like your business. I like that you've already tried to do Facebook ads in the past, so I can tell that you understand how far we can bring this, and I enjoy working with people like yourselves. How much were you looking to invest into this today? Like, if you had to put a price tag on this, like, how much were you willing to pay? And you let them give you the number. Okay, last thing you want to do is give them a payment plan where they were willing to pay a lot more than what you offer them. So let's say you break down the payments in 2. So you tell them, like, look, instead of charging you $5,000 up front, I'm willing to do it for $2,500 split in 2. So $2,500 today, and then in 2 weeks, $2,500. What if the person said, well, I was expecting to pay $4,000 per month. My last agency charged me $4,000 per month, so $5,000 is a bit much, but for $4,000, I'd be willing to do it right now. In that case, like, this again is a personal preference, but I would rather collect $4,000 up front than 2.5, because you never know what can happen. You always want to cash collect the most that you can up front. So in that case, you would have lost. I mean, you wouldn't have lost, but you would have collected 2.5 instead of $4,000. Okay, but that's how you essentially negotiate price. You start off by telling them, like, look, price aside, okay, let's say we ignore the money question. Do you like the product? He'll say yes, I like it. So, like, okay, so money is the only thing holding you back. Yes. Cool. How much were you looking to spend? If I put a gun to your head today and you had to use my service and join our agency, how much money can you put into? He'll give you a number. From there, if it makes sense, you say yes. If it doesn't, you negotiate. Okay, and you tell him, like, look, to be honest, let's say he answers $1,000 per month, and you said $5,000 at the beginning. So that's a bit ridiculous. Okay, you wouldn't say yes to that. You're like, look, John, to be honest, $1,000 is very low for what we offer. There's multiple ways we can go about it. Like, again, like I mentioned, I do want to work with you, but for $1,000, that is just not worth. My cost to fulfill for your services is more than $1,000. So I would be losing money by working with you. So that number does not make any sense for us. The lowest I can go is actually $3,000. And that's without removing any of the services. Now, if you tell me you want to call the leads yourself and you want to do this, you want to do that, and you just stack all of the work that they have to do. So if you tell me that you want to make your own script and edit those videos yourself and call the leads that we generate yourself, and I only set up the Facebook ads for you, I can do that for $2,000 per month if you want. But again, that's not going to really bring you to your end goal, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, you mentioned that you wanted the video part. Is that right? It's like, yeah. So for me to actually fulfill on that and make money and for it to make sense for both of us, I need to do it for at least $3,000 per month. Okay, so you negotiate. It's not complicated. You find a solution. And that's sales in itself. They want to work with you and you want to work with them. So you just find a middle ground. Like, it is as simple as that. It is not complicated. And if they're not even willing to have this back and forth conversation with you and talk about money, he's like, well, can you do it for this? And then I say something else. And then he says something else. If that's not happening, then the problem is that they don't even want to work with you. The problem is bigger than the actual price and the program. They either, again, don't like the program, or they don't like you. Or they're just not serious. They don't want to work with you. Okay, so you can tell at the end by how open they are to a conversation. That will tell you how willing they are to actually work with you. Okay, and that's basically it. All right, so it's not rocket science. It's not complicated. Okay, you start off the call. Hi, how's it going? Cool. So my name is Oliver. We've been working with plumbers since 2000 something. The goal of this call is to just see what are your objectives, what are you trying to bring your business to, and if we can help you. Does that make sense? The call is going to be only 45 minutes. I'll just ask you a few questions, give you a quick presentation, and at the end, you tell me if we're a good fit to work together, yes or no. Make sense? Yes. And you always want to I do it out of like reflex. You always want to ask like questions that makes them say yes. Make sense? You understand? Can we move forward? Do you understand? Like, I always ask them little questions like that to get them to say yes. First of all, it keeps them engaged in a conversation. And two, there's a book or a study or something that says the more yeses they say, the more likely they are to say yes at the end to your final question, which is, do you want to pay $5,000 to work with me? Okay? Ask them those questions. So tell me, John, and you always want to use their name. That's another one. If their name is John, Bob, whatever, you keep saying their name. People love hearing their names. So John, tell me, what is the end goal with your business? What are you trying to achieve? In, let's say, 6 months, 12 months, what in the perfect world, what would your business look like? How much money? Do you want to expand the team? Do you want to remove yourself from the data process? Break everything down for me, please. He'll tell you. Let's say, I want to make an extra $20K per month. Cool. What have you tried before in the past to make that extra $20K per month? We tried running Facebook ads, Google ads. It didn't work. Cool. That makes sense. Many people try and it doesn't work. Out of curiosity, what exactly did you try? And were you the ones to run the ads? Like, did you run the ads yourself? He'll say yes, or whatever. He'll give an answer. No, we had the agency. They were shit, whatever. Cool. Why were they shit? Like, what happened exactly? And you just break it down. Try to understand what was the pain point. Find a why. And then explain to them, give them like a brief solution. So they tell you like, yeah, I don't think the ads were good. I did them myself. You're like, okay, cool. Have you done it before in the past? They're like, no, okay, that makes sense. There's lots of things to learn, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Give them like a quick solution, but don't go that much in depth. And then presentation, like, cool. All right, John, I think I have a pretty good understanding like where your business stands and what your goals are. Is it okay if I just share my screen and show you a quick presentation on like how the process will look like step by step on like the journey of like what it's like to work with us and how we've helped other agents or other plumbing business like yours scale to 50K per month, like whatever he said, like to 50K per month. He's like, yeah, sure. Step by step. Okay. So you break down the steps, super simple, baby steps. So step 1, we do this. Step 2, we do this. I like to use a lucid chart, like those squares, like you see in my other YouTube videos. You can do it as you wish. You can do it on Google Doc. You can do slides, but just step 1, step 2, step 3. You just break it down super simple. And again, you tie as many steps as you can to the specific pain points he gave you. So if he said, I struggle with this is what you focus on the presentation, obviously. From there, answer all of his questions, same way with the steps. From there, when you reveal price, you give him the price. They'll give you an objection. You say, look, price aside, do you like the program? He'll say yes. Then from there, you handle the price and you just negotiate until a number makes sense for both of you. Okay. That's pretty much it. Video's a bit long. I apologize about that, but I think it's very important. As usual, if ever you want me to specifically build the script out for your agency and work with you and help you close these types of deals, we have a one-on-one mentorship program. It's performance-based. Just book a call with my team. They'll explain to you exactly how it works. And again, if at the end it makes sense and you like the program and you want to work with us, then from there we'll onboard you. I will personally help you. We'll have a bunch of group calls. I'll hop in there. I'll ask you a bunch of questions, see where you're at with your agency. I'll help you build this exact sales strategy for you. And more importantly, build a sales team around it so you don't have to be closing for the rest of your life. Okay. Otherwise, best of luck with everything. Let's make some money and we'll switch on to the next one. Peace.